Hey there everyone, welcome back to Game Binding. My name is Dave, and hold right there. Cease and desist. Welcome back to Smash Up Week, and thank you so much AEG for providing us with this review copy of Cease and Desist. This is like the 6th or 7th expansion, which can also be played as a 2-player game, but I'm not going to be showing how to play Smash Up. There's a video for that. If you're here, I'm pretty sure you know how to play at this point. But Cease and Desist is a expansion that pretty much gets around the licensing issue. People want it like Star Wars and Star Trek, but you can't really do that without shoveling out a lot of money. But you can do comical parodies, which pretty much is the whole crux of Cease and Desist. There are lots of expansions for Smash Up. I love them, but does this one earn the right to get in your collection? Well, let's go down below and I'll show you. Okay, so in the Cease and Desist, we are back down to 4 factions, but that's okay. I have this card, well, these 2 cards shifted over to the side like this because it is very interesting. This is the first time I've seen so many unique cards. These are the only 2 double cards that are in the Astro Knights deck. And I don't know if that's because they just kept on coming up with stuff or they just want them to be unique. And then you have the Changerbots, or the Changerbots, and then you have the Ignobles and the Star Roamers. So Game of Thrones, Star Trek, Transformers, and Star Wars. And of course the bases. And the VP tokens are a little bit better this time. They're getting better. Still think the Cthulhu ones are my favorite. But what do we always do? We start with the bases. Alright, so I'm not going to go over every base. We do kind of zoom through them now since we have so many, but there are 2 that stand out to me. Second place is what you want to get the most points. So in the theme of things, there is one faction that likes to give control away of their minions, and that might be something that you'll want to do, and that's what it says here. After you play a minion here, you may give control to another player. And this one right here is all zeros, and it basically replaces the top card base and keeps all of the cards on it, discard this card, and keep scoring. So whatever the score of the next base card, you just hope that's going to be good, and that's the Unicrave. And I'm not going to go through them all here, except for like the names are funny. The Spiky Chair Room, that one's really cool. Charging Room, USS Undertaking, and Neutral Space. But those 2 really did stand out to me. Okay, let's go over to the first faction. As I've already said, I'm a Star Wars fan, and they are themed pretty well, and I'm glad they got the most unique cards out of most of the factions. And I'm putting them first because I'm saying it right now, they are my favorite. But the close second, we'll get to that. But they're all about focusing power and gaining power, in addition to various other things, but mostly power. So Space Knight, reveal the top card of your deck. You may draw an action from the revealed card, return the rest in any order. Plus he's is 5. With this right here, I wanted to emphasize how the power is. And look, that's supposed to be a blue Yoda. One of your minions gains +4 power until the end of turn. That's a lot of power. And speak of the blue devil there, it does look like a blue Kermit. That's right. Once per turn, after you play an action that directly increases a minion's power, you may also place a counter on that. That's supposed to be Jabba the Hutt, and it looks like Conan. I like the gender flip there, though. Play an extra action that directly increases the power of one of your minions. There's Hana Solo, Scoundrel. Move this minion and another one of them into another base. Walking Carpet, Astrobot, looks like B52, and there's C3PO. Reveal the top card on your deck. If it is an action, draw it, otherwise don't. There's, oh man, that's graphic. That's Uncle Ben. He cannot be destroyed. Other minions at the base gets +2. There's annoying Jar Jar Binks. Laser sword. They can't even call it a lightsaber. Can I? Anyway, recycle the trash. That's a very famous scene, but Chewie wasn't there. Shuffle up 2 actions from your discard pile into your deck. And let's see here. Reveal the 2 cards of your deck. Place one into your hand and others on the bottom of your deck. Yeah, and basically they do other things other than like gain power. Most of the cards are a power. It's a trap, power grasp, and I like these guys a lot. I do think they're a little more advanced. I like to pair these up with a simple faction like maybe the robots. I always go with zombies or something that is in the core base set, because this has some complex nature to it because every card is unique. So knowing what to play it and how to play it takes some learning curve. So let me go over to my second favorite here, which is the Ignobles, and I like them because they're kooky. You're going to be giving your control, your influence over to your other opponents in order to get various rewards. So this one here is just 2. You have a whole bunch of these Tyrion Lannisters. You may give control of this minion to another player and play an extra minion. Why would you want to do that? Well, you may give control of this minion to another player ongoing, and the owner of this minion gains 1 VP if another player wins the base and the control of this minion. So 1 VP is pretty good at the very end of the game when you're trying to squeak out those points. So betrothed can win you the game. You get the foot of the king or the hand of the king. Now at the end of the turn you may take control of your minion that you own. So you still own the control of the minion. That's what the rulebook says. It's still yours, so you can give it to somebody then take it back. The Mother of Dragons, give control of one of your minions to another player and draw cards and play an extra action. So having some weaklings, like giving out your zombies to another player to play another draw lots of cards, could be good. Each player returns their minion they own to their hand. Take control of a minion you own, play an action card. Banner and Inevitable Betrayal. That's so funny. They're dressed up in dinosaurs costumes. Before the base scores, take control of a minion you own there. Repay debts, because a Lannister always does that. A hostage exchange. Fate of Favorites. Each player destroys a minion. And the Red Birthday Party. Very thematic, but in poor taste. It's too soon. It's too soon. Destroy a minion, and it says you destroy a minion you own and all minions with less power at the same base. Like I said, very thematic, but whew, it's just rough. And that is my second favorite. And the last 2 that we're going to go over I kind of like the same, but we'll start with the Star Roamers. Alright, so the Star Roamers are very slippery. They are hard to kill. They go back into your hand, and or they move around a lot. So Star Captain here, and I'm not too big of a Trekkie, but I know a little bit, and this does look like a traditional captain. Search your deck for a minion, reveal it, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. If it has power 3 or less, play it here as an extra minion. There you got Spock. Return 1 of your minions of power 4 or less to its owner hand, and play an extra minion with a different name. Medical Officer, the ship's engineer, the ensign. So this is basically the red shirt. So when an opponent plays a card that directly affects one of your other minions here, you have it affect this minion instead. So basically he's jumping in the way. Now the ship's officer here, if another one of your minions would be returned to your hand, you may move it to another base instead. So like I said, they're really hard to kill, and this is a good combo like faction here if you like to combo cards off another. Play on a base. If any of your minions on the base would be returned to your hand, you may move them here instead. Again, they are very, very hard to kill. Protective fields. Play on a base. When you have a minion, your minion here are not affected by other players' cards. I like that green shirt. That's really cool. Each player returns one of their minions to its owner's hand. Port me up. You may play this after a base scores. The minion must be on the scoring base, and it says return one of your minions to your owner's hand. And hyper speed 10. Choose a base. Move all minions from there to a single other base. So you can really break a base easy. They can move really fast. They can basically cheat death. I like them, but it's just not my style of play. So let's go over the last faction, which are the Changerbots. So the Changerbots are kind of all around, but they focus on growing strength. So this guy is a 6 leader 2. One of the other minions gains +2 power until the end of the turn. I love the design here. Play an extra action, give this minion -2 power until the end of the turn. Again, it's kind of like a Mario all around kind of play. The tank here, this minion gains +2 power and loses its ongoing ability of all other abilities until the start of the next turn. She is quick. Move this minion to another base and give it -1 until the end of the turns. They shrink down and then they grow big and get strong again. This minion has ability talent. If this minion moves to this turn, and move another one of your minions from previous base to here. So they are moving around a lot because they're on wheels, and they're getting weaker, growing stronger, and that looks like a Zord more than Transformers. Choose a base. Each one of your minions there gets +1 power at the end of the turn, so you can move every one of your Changerbots at one base and power them up and break it really cool. This one is one of the cooler designs. This minion has the ability talent, move this minion to another base and give it, so basically it has a Huffy ability. That's a pretty cool one too. This minion has +1 power and cannot be destroyed. So again, they are a pretty strong faction, just not my style of play. So they sit as tied for my 3rd favorite. So let me go ahead and tell you my overall thoughts on this expansion. So that is Cease and Desist. And what do I think of this one? It's fun. It's a good one. Not one I'm gonna jump after. I do like Star Wars. I do like Game of Thrones. Transformers, I've never been a big fan of that, or Star Trek, but they're cool. A first one, do you get it as a first one? Not in my opinion, but if you like any of these factions, definitely go jump for it. It's not that confusing. The Star Wars may be a little more advanced because all the different unique cards, but still very easy to kind of comprehend. So yeah, you can pick it up first if you want to, though I think this is like a 2nd or 3rd expansion pickup. Should you pick it up if you have everything else? Yeah, it's a good one. If you're a collector, this is a solid one. So I'm giving it a thumbs up. Not my favorite expansion, but one that holds up pretty well, and I would be sad if I didn't have it. I do like the different twist that the Game of Thrones kind of faction has. I am glad that they have such a thing in here until they finally do get licensed to like either Star Wars or Star Trek and actually make it. But this is going to fill that void in our collection until then. It's a good one. Not a great one, but something that I'm very happy to have in my collection. If you do want to pick it up though, it's going to be in the description below. It takes you straight over to the purchase of it. And thank you so much for liking and subscribing the video. Vine Nation out there, thank you so much AEG for providing us with this week's full of fun. I can't thank you enough there. And until next time that I see you, my name is Dave, and join me in the next Smash Up Week video where I go over some Tokyo stuff. Until then, you're to hear in the game plan. I'm out. Bye. Vine Nation, we love making content here for you on the channel, and we're almost at 15,000 subscribers, so subscribe now and help us out. This video right here, I think you'll like. This video right here, YouTube thinks you'll like. Or you can just sit here and watch me dance as a dinosaur for a little bit longer. You can visit us at our social media outlets, and we're going to be improving our Patreon here soon. That's all for today. Miko, it's time to go. Good girl, Miko.